What's up YouTube? Amy's is back, and we're going to be talking now about a game this one's going to be more of a mobile showcase. Now, I don't have an actual English name for this game. According to Google Translate, the game that we're going to be talking about next is called Stand My Heroes. It is a very unique game. It is a combination of a match 3 game, and it's also an Otome game. This is interesting. So how the hell does this one work? Well, we have 6 units. I believe it's 6. I've lost track. I think it's like 5 or 6. We have one which I believe is called Paranoia Agent, or it's either that or Narcotic Agent. We have one called the Police, one called the Rebel. We have some brothers who I believe they're called the Fuduki Brothers. And we have some other groups. There's like, I kid you not, there's like 5 or 6 in this game. This game is a combination of an Otome game, but it's also a match 3 game. So it also has the added element of trying to get 3 stars. The 3 stars in this game, however, do lead to something else. And I'll explain how that works in a second. So, here's the basic gist of the game. Okay? We have these different units, and they're trying to solve different cases. Well, each level or episode, whatever you want to, each act, as the game calls them, introduces you to one of the different units in the game, and also introduces you to different mechanics. Basically, the first act or 2 is more like a tutorial than it is just a straight up game. Okay? And that's fine, because, you know, when you play most match 3 games, that's what they did anyway. But this one works a little bit differently. So, in most match 3 games, what happens is, when you end up playing, when they introduce different gadgets to you, they give you either one or they give you a couple for free, and then you get to pay for the rest of them, right? Lovely, isn't it? That's not the way this game works. What happens is, here, you will be playing with a standard game board, but whatever unit you're using, you'll have the leader in a big portrait, and then you'll have the 3 other members in little smaller circles. Well, as you match certain icons on the board, guess what gets to happen? Well, you mark down their cooldown, which is a lovely thing, because then you get to use their ability should you need to. Now, this is important because on the right hand side of the screen is your star ranking, and of course that goes 1 to 3. But in this game, that doesn't just mean star ranking. It also means the number of gems you can win. You can win up to 3, but that's only if you get the 3-star ranking. You get 1 for 1 star, 1 for 2 stars, 1 for 3 stars. So there you go there, right? But what are the gems used for? I hear you asking. The gems are used for one of 2 things, and it's your choice, of course. One is a gacha, which you use to play in order to earn new members of the teams. And by the way, you are introduced to these characters as you progress through the different acts. So it's not like you'll get a card and then not see them in the game. You will meet them over the course of the game. But the gems are also used for something else. At the end of every act, there's a boss you must face. If you beat the boss, there's one of 2 things you can do. To open a book, you must either use a certain number of gems, or you must have a certain star ranking. Now for me, I'm trying to save the gems for the gacha. But you may want to use them to open up the book. That's alright. You can do that. Like I said, that's up to you. I have my way of playing. You have yours. I always try to go back and play to get the best ranking if possible. Now, there are currently 2 seasons for this game. I am in season 1, and it runs about 100 and some levels. I believe it's 100 and some. I believe it's 130, but somebody will correct me in the comments. And after each one of the levels, there's a boss at the end. Well, there's other aspects of the games too. You remember how I said it's an Otome game also? Yeah, so here's what happens. As you're introduced to different characters through the course of the game, you're also given their storybook, basically. How does their storybook work, though? This is how. So, if you click on a character, you will notice they have a different set of stories. Each one is a set number of episodes. The first story may be about 4. That's nothing too major, and you're probably not going to get anything out of it, generally. However, the others get even more interesting, because now you not only have to pay attention to the story, but you're also going to pay attention to your choices. Remember I said it's an Otome game also. So now you're also having to deal with the visual novel aspect. And there's 2 different endings for each one of the stories that each character has. That's something really important to think about. So, your goal is to get obviously your goal is to get the happy ending, but there's also a normal ending, so don't worry if you screw up and you get the wrong choice. Because you can always go back and change choices and hopefully get the correct ending and get all the CGs for that particular story or that particular character. How long do they run? Well, the first story, which is your introduction, runs about maybe 4 parts. Okay, no biggie. It's when you get to the other one that it's going to start running you a bit more. Say about maybe 13 or so. I only know this because I actually looked up a couple of the stories, and considering each one has about 4 parts, yeah. Now, to open up these things, what do we have to do? Well, the good news is, in some cases, you may not have to pay anything. But, let's say you do. On the game board, when you're playing your levels, you may have noticed there are bronze and silver handcuffs. What did handcuffs do, Josh? This. So, you make it through each one of the stories. Well, as I'm playing right now, they don't cost anything. But, say you find one and it has a toll to it. Well, here's what happens. Those handcuffs you were picking up on the game board, yeah, that's your toll. Each one of the stories, or each one of the scenes, costs a certain number to be able to play it. So, at first you might not have to pay anything, so you can go back and change things if you need to. But be careful, because later when you have to go and play through other stories, they may ask you to pay 1 handcuff, 2 handcuffs, 3, 4, or whatever. I don't know. Again, I haven't gotten that far, but that's what they may make you pay later when you get to play the game, when you get to play that part of the story. This is also how you unlock different CGs, though, for the character's story. And I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I believe this is also how you are also allowed to level up characters through the course of the game, because once you max out, the game will take you, I believe, to the to a character select where you get to play through their stories and their different episodes. So pay attention, because again, much like when I was talking about Tsukino Para, the higher a character's rarity, the higher they can level. The higher they can level, the less you have to worry about this. Although I think using the term worry in this case isn't exactly a proper thing, but whatever. Now, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you right now, playing this game, it's actually a very interesting game. Oh, and by the way, in case you're curious, to download the game, you may want to use something called QApp, because I don't know if this game is available on the Google Play Store. So again, you may have to use this. But anyway, the download does take a little bit. And I will tell you also that I had the download not work for me at first. Now I don't mean when I say download, actually downloading the game. I mean when I got into the game and they had to do the download for all the actual assets itself. It got to 100 at one point and then it got stuck. So I redid it and it worked just fine. The good news is once you download it, you don't generally have to do any more updates unless there's updates to do. But it is a very fun game actually. The only thing is, this is my only complaint from what I've seen so far, and it could just be me because of course for me my ability to read Japanese is a bit limited right now. I'm playing through one of the characters' stories. Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't have used each one of the three choices. What's weird is the character didn't seem like he was acting any differently depending on how you chose in the final scene. So it's hard for you to tell which one was the proper one to get you closer to the true end. That's what I always call it. Or is that going to be the one to get you to the normal end? Do you see what I'm saying? Like there's a possibility that you could make a choice and it gets you to the wrong end that you want. Maybe you get lucky and it gives you the right choice, or it gives you the right ending you want at the end of everything. But again, you've got so many episodes to go through that there's a distinct possibility that you're not going to have to really worry about that for a long time. There was one character, I wish I had the character thing up right now. There was one character, like he's a doctor, and he's got like hairpins on. He's already my favorite, and there's actually also, here's a funny one for you. There's a character in the game who looks, at least hair-wise, like Shun from Priscilla in Tsukino Para. The funniest part is the next character that you meet from one of the units is actually named Shun. There's also a character, interestingly enough, named Haru. I just thought that was funny. So, yeah. The game is a fun one, though. Like, I'm not even going to lie and tell you the game sucks, because it doesn't. The game is a very addicting puzzle game, and a very addicting visual novel also. So, you've got a lot to go through, and again, it's on a second season, so you're playing through season 1. Once you get that one done, you go into season 2, and you can continue the stories of the characters. So, there's that to consider, but you have to play through season 1 first, so, oh boy, you've got 100 plus levels to play through. Have fun. I know I'm going to. And remember this. Here's a pro tip. When those characters' abilities are able to be used, use them, because they're going to save your ass when you need to actually get the 3 stars. The only thing I don't like about the game is this. It spends 1 to 2 hearts every time you go into a level. You don't get those hearts back when you clear the level. So there's a possibility that you're going to be on a wait period to be able to play the next level. Do you see what I'm saying? And if you're going back and retrying a level to get the 3-star rating, yeah, it's an even bigger problem. Do you see what I'm saying? But other than that, it's a really fun game. Really, really fun. And you do need to check it out. Again, if you're going to play this, I'm suggesting that you go through the Q app. QOOAPP. And I don't have the actual icon you're looking for up, but it is one that looks like a bit of a Bishi character. I know it really doesn't help. But the game, at least according to Google Translate, is called Stand My Heroes. Do go check this game out, and I really do think you're going to enjoy it if you get the chance to play it. Your only issue, of course, is going to be the bit of a language barrier trying to read it. But why do you think I play visual novels in other languages? Just saying. Anyway, go check the game out, and I will talk to you all in the next video. So take care, my friends. Bye.